SHAPE team, thank you for being out here today to welcome our Secretary General, Anders Fogh Rasmussen, and our Chairman of the Military Committee, Knud Bartels. It is terrific to have both gentlemen here with us today. I have to begin by particularly welcoming General Bartels, who is not only the senior military officer in our alliance, a former Chief of Defense of Denmark, a former Director General of the International Military Staff in Brussels, but you should all know that he speaks French better than he speaks Danish, which is quite an accomplishment.
Bienvenue à notre petite équipe et merci beaucoup pour votre présence ici. C'est très important de parler un peu de français dans toute notre conférence parce que c'est l'autre langue officielle de notre alliance. Merci beaucoup, mon ami.
Great to have you here, Knud. Thank you. General Bartels. But we're extremely lucky today to have the leader, the Secretary General of NATO, Anders Fogh Rasmussen. Secretary General Rasmussen is the first Secretary General of the Alliance to have previously served as a head of state and government. I know the many Danes who are here remember him very fondly from his 8 years as the Prime Minister of Denmark, 2001 to 2009, which was the job he had immediately before becoming the 12th Secretary General of the Alliance. I'm also very happy to make sure everybody's aware that he was recently asked to extend his term for another year, so he will complete a very robust, lengthy term as the Secretary General of NATO in the fall of 2015. Did I get that right? 14. I thought my math was off by a year. He will be there until 14. That's merely a reflection of how much I wish he would stay year after year after year. He is married to Ann Met, who is also a terrific friend and is a wonderful First Lady of the NATO Alliance. He's the father of 3 grown children, and as an American, I'm very proud to point out that his twin grandchildren were born in the United States, in Springfield, Illinois, just outside of Chicago, where the NATO summit was held just last spring. So Secretary General has very strong transatlantic credentials, and we are very proud of that in the United States, if I can speak as a U.S. officer for one moment. Secretary General is also, and this is for a military audience, I would argue, the most fit and athletic leader we have ever had in the Alliance. I guarantee you he will bury you in running, cycling, or kayaking. And he is someone who maintains physical fitness, which is something, sir, that we truly value in the military. I know all of us here who are members of the military appreciate the fact that you continue to focus on fitness. Just so you don't think he's perfect, he is also a great fan of Belgian chocolate. And I know that's partly why he has to work out so consistently. I will tell you, when I look back on our time together, and we're now in our 4th year of serving together, I think of the Secretary General as someone who has delivered on what he has promised. He promised to create a new strategic concept for the alliance, and that came out back 2 years ago and has been absolutely the bedrock of how the alliance is moving forward into this 21st century. He has promised progress in our operations, and we have seen that across the board. In Afghanistan, in the Balkans, in Baltic air policing, in our tremendous operation together in Libya. He has been someone who delivers operationally for the alliance. And then third, and I would say probably most importantly in his position, he manages to manage the political and the diplomatic positions of NATO in a way that continues to make us a force for good in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, my boss, the Secretary General, Anders Fogh Rasmussen.
Admiral Stavridis, dear Jim, Thank you very much indeed for these kind remarks. I note, speaking about my personal background, that not surprisingly your intelligence services work quite efficiently. We arrived at NATO almost at the same time, and I want you to know that I really appreciate our close cooperation, and I thank you very much for your strong leadership. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, for the past 61 years, SHAPE has been at the forefront of everything NATO has done as an alliance. Today, the alliance is busier than ever, and I know that SHAPE too is busier than ever. Over 110,000 men and women from all 28 allied nations, as well as from 24 partner nations, are currently deployed on operations. Those operations have been prepared and planned by this headquarters. Those operations are commanded by this headquarters, and you are the people who every day do that vital work for our troops and our alliance. Thanks to you, NATO's flag flies proudly in Afghanistan, in Kosovo, in the Mediterranean, and off the Horn of Africa. History shows that wherever NATO flags are raised, people's hopes are raised too. Hope for a safer future, a more secure future, and a more stable future. This is what the alliance and your headquarters is all about. Making people's lives safer and better whenever and wherever we are called on to do so. We need to make sure we continue to do this as successfully in the future as we did it in the past. So all of us need to be even more effective and more efficient in what we do, so that this alliance keeps its operational edge and stays fit for the future. These are the reasons why the alliance has agreed to implement a broad series of reforms. And one of the reforms that will affect you most closely is the implementation of the pending NATO command structure. I'd like to thank you for all the hard work done to agree the new structures. As you know, these are currently being considered by nations, and I hope that agreement by the Council will be reached shortly. Change can bring uncertainty as much as opportunity, and transition can be a time of turbulence. But SHAPE has a long-standing reputation for embracing change and for constantly seeking new and better ways of doing business. The Comprehensive Crisis Operations Management Center and the NATO Special Operations Forces headquarters are both perfect, excellent examples of SHAPE's innovation and forward thinking. This willingness to adapt and improve will be particularly important as we start transition to the NATO command structure. The Alliance's integrated military structure is unique. It is the glue that binds all our allies together. And it is what enables you to translate political decisions in Brussels into concrete action where it matters on operations. I expect the new command structure will retain these vital features. Yes, it will be leaner but I think you'll agree it will also be meaner. It will be specifically tailored to our new security environment. It will be more capable, more agile, and more deployable. And it will provide us with the flexibility we need to deliver our 3 core tasks and to carry on making people's lives safer and better. So, keeping in mind SHAPE's motto, let me say this to all of you, officers, non-commissioned officers, and civilian staff. Thank you for your outstanding contribution to the work of our alliance. Your vigilance is the price we pay for our liberty. You have inherited a proud and successful history. I'm confident that as you transition to your new structure, you will remain at the forefront of our alliance and key to NATO's future success. Thank you.